Why are you asking for Gates of Hell mace? Come on, come on. I don't know when we're actually doing it though. Gates of Hell, I'm down. But you gotta keep in mind, summer is also over. A lot of people that, Cho King, who is one of the main guys we also play Gates of Hell with now, no longer studies. He now is full-time work, employed. So it'll be a little different with how we play it. Probably earlier than usual, unless we do it on weekends. Also, no sound, but you should have sound now, right? Yeah, Choking's got a job now. He finally finished his thing. Who won last night? The Allies did. With a huge D-Day. And I think Dankis actually baited us into thinking that he was collapsing. Because as far as I checked after the game was over, he had like 30 tanks the entire time. He never went below 30 tanks. And at that point, you don't collapse if you still have 30 tanks. Yeah, I got the Leopard 2K. I got that a while ago, actually. I just crewed it. I haven't actually played a game in it yet. I'm now working on the HOT. Good time to get the Leo 2K. They're moving it next specs. Yeah, that was why I was rushing it. That was literally why I was rushing it. I just crewed it right now. So I'm happy I got it now. Gonna try it out. Where's the cat? She is sleeping in the living room. I'm not gonna force her to sleep on the desk. Wasn't there like 3 D-Days? I feel like that was only 1. Or was there 3? Did they actually land 3 times? I feel like they landed in Germany, and then they landed in France. Those are the ones I remember. Go for the light tank line. The ATGMs line is a bit dead. I thought they were foldering this. That's why I'm not doing it. I thought they're just foldering the like this one, and so it's gonna be easier to progress in this one over here. There's 2 in France, 1 failed. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Why did nobody react to the Hamburg invasion? People did react to the Hamburg invasion. It's just you understand that, like, as far as I could check, Golden only had like at maximum 15 actual tank divisions. The rest of them were the light assault guns he built for like conquering Africa and France, like all the shitter ones that aren't actual tanks. Anonymous Noodle, thank you for the 15 though. So, like, it's very limited with what you can react to. Also, the only Hoi game this week will be one in the weekday for me, at least. Because I gotta figure out what weekday it is, though. Because I can't play in the weekend. Because I've got friends over. How you doing, Robo? Hello from class. You should focus on your class. BMP 1 is probably the best IFV around there anyway. So you want me to go for it anyway. So it's just... I don't know. Like, I just feel like if I can avoid it, I'll avoid it. I'll be honest with you. Like... And I'm so high up now that I'm not even at, like, 7.7. Like, I know this is still there. I still have this here, but... In the lineup. I feel like this does better than this thing, so... That's why I picked the Martyr, because at least then I have an ATGM. Tried to ask Golden this, but I'll ask you this too. Oh yeah, 100%. You should. I actually think that's one thing that France should do. Because, well, no, you shouldn't give it to them early. You can't give it to them too early. Caparino, I'll explain why. Because Germany needs to do the Atlantic Wall focuses, and they can't do the Atlantic Wall focuses unless they own the territory. So, you essentially don't give Vichy all of France until you've built the Atlantic Wall for them. And then you give it to Vichy if you want to min-max it, and they produce a shit ton of troops to man the Atlantic Wall because they get core defense bonuses. On top of the Atlantic Wall. And then that is Vichy's game. Vichy's game is entirely like garrisoning France. That's it. Why don't you play with a duo so it's more like the grind? I usually I like to play with my friends in this, but we're in so different battle tiers that I don't know. Is this the one P phones? I feel like it is. Alright, we're gonna take it for a spin, guys. I have not driven this tank, so this is gonna be interesting. Considering how resource-intensive Golden's heavy tank build, I kind of think that maybe going heavy AT in as Italy would have been play. What do you think? Considering I could barely get tungsten Roble, I don't think that's the play. You realize Golden's... You said it yourself in your own sentence. You're asking me to go a resource-intensive strategy because of Golden's resource-intensive strategy. Like, think about what you just said there. I like how this thing moves, by the way. It feels so much more smooth. I'm gonna die here. It's gonna be a great first game. Like, I could barely get enough tungsten to just put on, like, King Tigers. Like 20, I think it was 30 factories on Tigers, and I couldn't get tungsten or chromium for that. No armor on it, though. I mean, it has more armor than the fucking Leo 1. I know that much. We're gonna die. It feels so smooth! Like, I don't care if I die here, I'll be honest with you, chat. I just want to drive this thing a little bit. It feels smooth. Heavy... everything that's not rocket artillery... Okay, I was about to shoot him, but... Everything... Roble. Everything that's, like, artillery, anti-tank, tanks, requires tungsten. You gotta remember that. Like, even normal anti-tank requires tungsten. So, think about it like this. In reality, if you want to optimally build when Golden does that build, and a lot of the other nations are gonna get nerfed because he's using so many, like, so many resources, right? So, if in reality what you should do is you should Africa that game, like Safari that shit, because you need all the resources in Africa. You need to take as much shit as possible to feed the build, so everyone else can also build. But again, if you don't do that, you have the problem that you can't build an excessive amount of AT. You can't build tanks for other nations. There's so many things you can't do because his build is so resource intensive. I was deliberately trying not to fuck with his resources too much that game. Don't war the Soviets and trade with the Soviets. That's true. That is true. But I was asked to, like, I could have done that weekend. I could definitely have done that. But the problem with that is they asked me to come in and bomb the Soviet Navy. Wasn't planning on going to war with the Soviets. That literally did nothing. Okay, we're too high of a tier for this to be effective. Oh! I mean, you're, like, you guys are trolling when, you, like, right now, I know that, like, the great Soviet Navy, haha, but, like, you don't understand how, like, annoying that can be in the Baltics for the Germans to try and get to Finland. Or if they're straight blocking in the Black Sea as well. Right. Anyways, to answer that question regarding the should you build heavy AT in that build, if you plan on helping the Soviets or helping on the Soviet front at all, you can't do any of that stuff if Golden's doing that because there won't be enough resources on the map for us to actually do stuff. What you could do is you could build a shit ton of rubber and focus a shit ton on air instead. But I was already doing that. How you doing, Pop? Early stream, yeah. Like, again, there's probably going to be more of these. It's because, like, I've got the video lined up for tonight, and I could also be editing just ahead of time, but I could also just do a chill stream where we just talk and, you know, play games. I just got this tank, so I wanted to take it for a spin, so I might as well stream a little bit. Guess who's in the hospital? Did you actually shit yourself into the hospital, Cypress? Oh, I'm so dead. Nope. Return! No! Oh! Oh!
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oh, fuck right off, buddy. No, 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 no! You... Why did I even use the extinguisher? Why did he push me? Why did he push me? Holy shit, Cypress. I hope you do alright. I'm glad you're in the hospital then.
Attention to the map.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, chat. It also doesn't really help me that at the moment on the Leopard 2K, I only have the heat rounds. So if anyone has ERA, it's fucking over for me. How you doing, Beef? Have I even gotten a kill so far? Like, this stream? Like, you should not be betting on me getting kills at this tier, guys. Like,
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
and that's the end of that game. Oh! Alright, we're gonna take it slow this game. We're gonna take it slow. We're not gonna be headless chickens. We just died 4 times without getting a kill. I hate how Bo isn't doing proper lineups. That's how I play this game, man. How I've always played this game. This is the one.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Just listen to this engine spin. This puppy. Anyone betting on me getting a kill in this thing before we get the right ammo, chat? You're absolutely capping.
For mercy. Attention to the designated grid zone.
This thing is so fast, though. I will give it that. Holy shit. I am kind of enjoying myself in it, even though I haven't killed anyone yet. I could technically shoot down a plane with this thing. It's got a 20 mil. Holy shit. Look at the speed!
Attention to the designated grid zone. Need cover.
Got him!
Attention to the map.
Doubters are crying right now.
Repairing.
guy right there.
Attack the B point.
Man! That is unfortunate. Holy shit. The Bolivars are eating great tonight. We got the first kill in this puppy. That means we have a -1 KD. If we get one more, we're tied. Then we also gotta survive. I hear a helicopter. I could technically murder that guy. Okay, he's dead. He lost his tail.
Attention to the map.
Well, you're Danish. What do you think of Højlund? I think he has great potential. He looks like he could be a great striker for Denmark, what we've been needing. But problem is, I've said that many times. About many strikers.
Attention to the map.
Yeah, I'll stand by what I said last night after the game. I do think that a medium tank build as Italy is the play, or as like a heavy AT build. If again, but both these things require that Germany is not spending a shit ton on heavy tanks. Like, you have to have a balance of it, because you can't afford to do anything as all the other nations really. If Germany and everyone else is doing tanks, like, it depends on how many is doing tanks in the Axis. I feel like it was a decent Italy game yesterday as well, Robert. Like, we literally did Rome. We had a decent navy. We killed a bunch of the British navy. We killed parts of the American navy. Like, it was a decent game. Like, I don't feel like I need to play Italy again, but I did say I wanted to play Italy in the game where Golden plays against Weekends. But it could also be that I do Japan with Jake as Manchuria, because we want to try again. Could also I also want to do some allied games again soon. Thank you. Killed like 130k Australians. Yeah, even before we even played the game, we killed 130,000 Australians. Which, I will reiterate, chat. I should actually go in and check that. I have a save to see how fucked he was after that. I need to go check that. But I think it's important to note that how important that is to kill off all those units early on, because like, it helps Japan massively. This thing can drift. I love it.
The enemy is controlling most of the zones.
Killed another guy. Okay, we're popping off in this thing now.
The enemy is getting closer to victory.
they spawn behind me is over, but we'll see if anyone's going to C. Maybe you could have made more Marines in because you had a big stockpile for a while. But I made those, but like it wouldn't have made that big of a difference because what you need to hold Africa isn't just a huge fucking wall. I could have put more stuff on the D-Day wall, sure, but with the amount of force that the Allies were landing with and the AMP tanks they had, they were gonna land that regardless. Sure, I did have a bit of a stockpile, but I also, when Golden asked for it, sent him like 25 to 30,000 guns. I literally sent him half my stockpile to him, and then I built whatever units I could right afterwards, which was about 12 infantry units, and then I ran out of stock. But your 20 mil is really good at killing light tanks. Oh yeah, I forgot about the, I keep forgetting that I have the 20 mil. I should use it. It's because on the other Leopards you only have the MG3, so I don't actually use the thing really. It's more like a panic thing. Oh, it's over for me. I don't even, yeah. I knew he was down there, though. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just driving around like a headless chicken. I had Sulu Stream open at the time. Out of his 10 Marines, one was 40%. The rest was like 15. Oh, so we actually, like, with that rating, we actually, like, basically eliminated, like, the Australian army at that point. Like, if we say he had 10 Marines, and 9 out of 10 went down to 10%, we probably reduced his professional army by, like, 80% then at that point. 75 to 80% total. So, I feel like that's game impact already right there. Like, that helps Japan massively. Then you've, like, again, we took Gibraltar. We bombed a shit ton and killed a shit ton of convoys as well. Like, helping out, that technically helps the Soviet front as well, because you help raiding the shit out of them. But again, I'm not saying that's my best Italy game ever. I'm just saying it was a decent Italy game. That's all I said, and I feel like that's fine. Like we had a little bit of impact, and we did what we could. We also traded so much shit to Golden the entire game because we were building navy. Do you think a sea line would have been possible before Bob? Perhaps. You can never tell that though. Like that's very like if and if, but maybe. Like I noticed that the UK Navy was busy guarding in the Atlantic, so we could definitely have gotten an invasion off. The question is, would we be able to finish it before the UK Navy arrives and kills us? That is the real question there. I had the Marines for it, but that was a point where we were considering it as well. I will, however, state that I think Marines and tanks is the way to play Italy, though. Like that is my philosophy on it. Like you need your own tanks, especially if Germany doesn't give you tanks. Like because you can't hold Africa without your own tanks. It's literally impossible. If you don't have tanks, you're just waiting for the Allies to come kill you, which happened yesterday. You saw that. I had one tank available, and it arrived when they were pushing me.
Allied forces have captured the zone. We don't have the advantage anymore.
Where is he? This little bastard. Is he gonna... Oh, he's right there. Please tell me I took out the breach. Yes! Suck it! Good luck, buddy. I'll see you around. Oh, it's over. We're coming back. Put some fake tank divisions to stall. What happens when they decide to click you to see if like what your armor is or what your stats are? What happens then?
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
I don't think the first nuclear research is a waste. I don't think nuclear research is a waste of time at all, especially seeing how important nuclear research has been in the previous games. Nice. Oh, I can still play. And then he crashed into a building. Man, I need to get my own jet. I'm procrastinating uni work right now. I could play in like 30 minutes. So what you're saying, Monk, is if you start right now, you could be ready to play in 30 minutes. But are you going to start right now? That is the real question. Not the worst game I've ever played. Exactly, Monk. Exactly. My premium's also running out soon. But I haven't been playing that much War Thunder lately. I feel like my hours have gone down ever since I got the cat. I mean, to be fair, when I was a uni student, I would also just procrastinate until like the last possible moment I could do it. I still do that partially with editing sometimes. Everyone laugh at my silver lions, yeah. That is. Thank you. I'm gonna go after this. Actually, man. I was gonna flame him for doing that. Now I'm the idiot here. What the fuck am I doing? Why are you mad, bro? Oh, okay. It's gonna be like that, huh? Why is he shooting at me now? If you would log in every day, you would have so much silver lions. Well, the problem is, I do log in every day, and every time I get a good bonus, I have a bad game. What do you do then? I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chatbots. Oh, amazing. I need chatbots, guys. 2.4k viewers on a Hoy stream. How else do you think we got it, guys? How else do you think we get that many viewers on Hoy? Who would want to sit there and watch a map game, am I right, guys?
Attention to the designated grid square. Allied forces have captured the zone.
We're doing a troll drive right now. Like, I'm actually trolling, and I'm driving in the good tank. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm driving in the tank I want to drive in. But it is fun. Wait, the Leo 2 doesn't get thermals? That's sad. So, is the play really here? You drive around the enemy and you swap sides.
Enemy forces have captured the zone.
I haven't seen a single enemy yet. And I'm probably gonna see one and then insta-die. That's usually how I play this game. Oh, there's one there. No! I didn't fuck him up enough. No, 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 no. Reverse, 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 so he can't shoot. You mother... I was so close to shooting. But what's your thoughts on the other Hoi 4 channels that have adapted or drew inspiration from your format? There are other channels that did that. I'm not sure which ones are you referring to. I'm actually curious, Lego Agent. Like, define that adapted or inspired. Like, what would you define as inspired and what would you define as adapted? Give me an example of one of each. And I'll give you my honest thoughts on either of them. Is that Equestrian at War 1? I don't know what that is. Are they just doing it literally the same as I'm doing, but with that mod? I mean, if it really is just that mod they're doing, I don't really have a comment on it because I don't think I'm gonna be doing that. I mean, I'm also happy if they type that it's inspired by me, honestly. But again, I've said this multiple times. I believe that you should. It's okay to be inspired by someone else's style, but you shouldn't flat out copy it. Does that make sense? Like, you need to find your own touch to it. So if you're just making a Hoi 4 video and you do black intro text and slap Hoi and country balls on it, that's a little weird, champ. But I would always say you need to put your own touch on it. Like, for instance, like I would say the way I would say call Dankis's channel at this point, the way they're edited with that's inspired by it. The whole point about putting a flag and some text instead of doing a country ball and a speech bubble, they do flags in the bottom of the screen with some text. That's inspired by it, I would say, because like I was the first one to actually do the whole situation where you had a flag that symbolizes who's talking and then the text with it. Yes, Stankers, I would say you got inspired. I would say you got inspired by my content and you made it like in your own way. You changed up something on it. That's what I would call inspired. If you just straight up, as Monk typed it, if there are like I know that there are some of them that exist, but if you're just straight up copying it and just like that goes for anyone on YouTube. If you're just straight up copying someone's formula, like that's, I feel like that's a like you're supposed to think that it's charming that someone thinks you make good content, right? Like, but it's still a little like you work to figure out your own style. You worked hard to figure it out, and usually when someone copies, this is also some advice to people as well. Usually, if you flat out just copy people, so I've seen some of the videos of some of the channels that are direct copies of what I post. They even have they even do the same jokes, some of them, that we do. Like, they literally copy our jokes sometimes, and I'm just. I don't even know, like, they copy the words we, like, if we can do so, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if they just start, if I see in one of those videos, they just start saying, not Albert the Spider, but they just randomly start saying, whoever X named the Spider or something, like, it's a little weird, champ, when they copy every little aspect, even the jokes that we do. That's weird to me, like. That's when you claim them there. Like, but my advice to people who see something and they're like, oh shit, that's so cool, I want to do what he's doing too. You shouldn't do exactly what they're doing. You should be inspired by it and come up with your own formula. Because usually, if you're just straight up copying someone, you're gonna be the copycat. You're gonna be known as the copycat. You're never gonna be as good as the original. Or obviously you can be. Like, there will be instances out there where someone will be as good or even do it better. But in most cases, you will not. You will end up being a worse version of what you think is good. You should find your own style. That's my advice to people who do stuff like that. Like, even my style is like a combination of multiple things in there. Like, I've explained how the first video I ever made was literally inspired by one guy, and that made an EU4 video. He never made any more videos. He only made that singular video. And then the country balls and the text bubbles and all that, that's from the comment section where I was asking, like, what could we do to make this better? Because people were like, it's confusing to talk about it. We came up with that as a concept together. I had Tom make some really good artwork for me, and boom, you have a really good formula right there. What's it called? When it comes to... What was I going on this tangent? I had it in my head like 2 seconds ago. Yeah, when it comes to the stuff that I was inspired by, it was that guy with the EU4 video back then. He was the man that gave me the idea to, you can actually post Paradox games. Like, that was the guy that made me think, okay, this could be funny. Because I never thought that it was funny to watch people play Paradox games. I thought that was kind of cringe, just watching people play like literally just stare at a map. So I was on the train that you gotta like play shooter games. You gotta do something exciting. That's gotta be something on the screen. Oh no, two can play that game, buddy. Barrel. I can't see him. I could have taken out that barrel if I could see. Bo the King of Hoi 4 Twitch. I feel like the King of Hoi 4 Twitch kind of like depends on the time periods, because I feel like it swaps in between me and Tommy K. I'm the OG king of it, then Tommy K took over, and now I'm back again. If we're just looking at average viewers on a Hoi 4 stream. Although I've never had, like, when Tommy peaked on Twitch with, like, Hoi 4, I've never had those numbers on a Hoi. But I've always had good averages on it. Tommy has branched off to other games though, while you stayed mostly on Hoi 4. You're trolling, right? Like when you say that. I play like Hoi once a week. That has to be a troll comment.
Need cover.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Repairing.
Sometimes twice a week. Sure, Lego agent. Sometimes twice a week.
Defend the C point.
No, he's got a point. I mean, we could easily just figure that out. Like, if we just look at the amount of hours I stream. Sure, most of it will be Hoi 4, but that'll go for, like, everyone has one main game. But if you just look at a standard week, I play way more stuff that's not Hoi 4. We look at last week. Let's have a look. We streamed Steel Division, Hoi 4, Warno. Where the fuck is... How do I expand this? Steel Division, Warno, War Thunder, Steel Division, Ready or Not, War Thunder, Dawn of War, War Thunder. That was like fucking 4 streams in a row that wasn't Hoi. Like, I just don't think that's true. I feel like I've always been more variety than Tommy, for instance. I've always done more variety. I've never had those, like, I know, for instance, Tommy had those days, same with Dankus, where they literally streamed Hoi 4 every day for, like, months almost. Like, that was insane.
Attack the A point.
I couldn't do that. I would get burnt out on Hoi 4. If I played Hoi 4 every day, I would get burnt out. I feel like that's also why I'm not burned out, because I am a variety streamer. Sure, there is variety, but Hoi 4 is the hook for most. Holy shit, I'm just driving out and exploding. Sure, there is Hoi 4, but Hoi 4 is the hook for most. I disagree with that. I would say any Paradox game is the hook for most. It doesn't matter what Paradox game. And I can tell from the YouTube stats. That's all I can say. I upload an EU4 video, a Vicky video, a Hoi 4 video, a CK video. They all do great. CK does a little worse than the other ones. A Vicky video literally does either better or the same as a Hoi video. Vicky is literally the shit that gets the most views on YouTube on average whenever I upload a video. And that's even with Vicky free, even though people will deny and say, oh, that was Vicky too. No, even Vicky free. All those guys, they'll still fucking watch. They'll still fucking watch. Imperator, I haven't really played Imperator. But back when I did stream it, I think it got okay views. But I feel like that was also pre-release. Do you play Hoi 4 off stream? Barely. No, I probably don't. I did, like, yesterday or 2 days ago. I did some... I just tried to jump in and just, like, troll a little bit on Guangxi Click in vanilla. Does EU4 do good? Let's have a look at the last EU4 video on the channel. I'm sorry for all the War Thunder guys that are here. And I'm kind of like not playing properly right now. Europa. Why is that guy looking at me? How you doing, buddy? Wait, is that Panzerschiff? Is that the guy from chat? EU4. The last EU4 video, the Siamese. Is that the last time I uploaded EU4? There ain't no way I have not uploaded EU4 for almost 2 years. There simply ain't no way I haven't. Unironically? Well, I've got like 1 or 2 EU4 videos lined up, chat. But the last EU4 video is sitting at 465k views, which, if we're just looking at Hoi 4 videos, standard-wise, that is better than some Hoi 4 videos. I'm telling you, EU4 and Vicky does good every time. I can do it. It's just like when I upload a Hoi 4 video, I can almost always guarantee that after 30 days, a video has like 200,000 views after 30 days. So, like, if a sponsor comes up to me and says, what can we, like, how many views are we, like, they want to know the performance on a video. I'll just say I'll put it on a Hoi 4 video and they'll be happy. The last EU4 video created the Cocter meme. Is it actually that long ago? Oh, teamwork. 900 ducats. I'm fucked. Because that guy's an auto. No, I gotta use the. Thank God. I've got the streamer defense force here. But yeah, I do have EU4 and Vicky content just laying here. It's just my sorry ass has got to start doing it. Where is he? I can't see him. Is it that? I did nothing. Yeah. I should. I've got at least one EU4 video, maybe two, depending on what the content looks like when I start like editing it. And the Vicky content, I have at least one video as well. It's from when we brought in all the new guys and shit, but at the end of the day, it still had a bunch of problems, the game. Like, now we're just waiting on the new patch whenever that releases, like, properly, the 1.5 patch, and we'll be back in Vicky to a degree. So we'll see. Get cops to give you shill account and try naval RB hide. Nah. I don't want to do naval though. I don't want to do the jewels like that. That's just.
Attention to the map.
That might be something planned, but not what you want, Just Curie. We could just do normal Bice, but I've got something else planned. It might be planned as a charity stream though. Like, if I go through with the plan I have for this year's charity stream, it'll be a long one and a big one. It's not Hoi 3, it's Hoi 4. Sorry, I didn't read you said Hoi 3. I meant Hoi 4. So I gotta do Hoi 4 for charity, man. Like, I'm sorry. We gotta get the most viewers as possible when it comes to charity. 24-hour U4 for charity. I mean, that would be a possibility instead of Hoi 4, but the Hoi 4 idea is also pretty good. It works for charity too. Is that guy still alive? No, he's not. Okay, I'm stupid. There's a guy on the left that's supposed to be alive. Oh, is he dead? After this game, I'm just gonna go check up on these stats that you were talking about. To reiterate, I am... Where? Why are you behind? Why are you behind? I don't even want to go back and play when... I literally drive around, I do huge circles and shit, and you're just behind us in spawn. See, I would do that, Senek. I would deadass do that. I would love to play like airsoft or paintball with the boys. And we all had like GoPros on and shit. I am at the point.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attack the main point. Thank you.
I should just like do wagers and just like settle down. Probably couldn't stream airsoft without an actual production team. You're right, yeah, probably not. How many hours do you actually have in Hawaii? Like 4.5k last I checked. Probably at 4.8 or something now. Wages are the worst. Not when it comes to specific things. Like if you do the assist one, that one's bossing. Alright, if we can get capture here, I'll actually call this mission a success. That's a lot of money. The thing is, my brain wants to go in and check, like, the stats right now, chat.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage. We've captured most of the strategic zones.
I missed the Rare Hoi 4 video. What do you mean you missed them? Like, they happened, like, this year. Some of them happened this year. That's what makes them rare videos. And also, a lot of those mods are not, like... They're good entertainment for you guys, but they're not fun for us. Because they usually are shit games. Like, when you try out... Like, I've said I'm down for a meme game for Swimmy, for instance. Just give me a mod that's fun. And that is like we'll have fun with. Most of the mods are incredibly unbalanced, which is why we play our mod. They're incredibly unbalanced or incredibly unoptimized. Either or. Alright, let's go look at the stats for the stream there. I have streamed... let's see. Hoi 4 obviously is the largest. Is there any way you can check percentages of a game that's streamed instead of just? Oh yeah, 42% of the stream time is Hoi 4. The rest is a different game. So that means that over half the time I'm not streaming Hoi 4. How balanced would you say Vanilla Hoi 4 is? Terribly balanced. 100% terribly balanced. Now, if you then compare it to who was the guy that said that Tommy K was a more variety streamer than I was, then if we compare it to a guy like Tommy K, he streamed Hoi 4 46% of the time. I've done 42% of the time. There you go. Crushed once again. Will there be more EU4 in the future, or does the gang still hate it? Swimmy said he would rather play EU4 than, I think it was Hoi 4 the other day, and everyone was just like, you don't mean that, Swimmy. You act like that's a huge margin. Considering, Jack, that he has streamed thousands of hours more than I have streamed, Jack. That is actually a huge margin. Countries are not balanced RL, thus a historical game will have that strength. inequality. That's just not how that works at all. Because there's so much you need to take into account. IRL, France fucking sucked. Their entire like command structure sucked. You can get rid of that in the game by clicking a few things, a few focuses in the right order, and it won't even be a thing when the war starts. I'm just driving in like a headless chicken right now, and it's gonna be the end of me. I can't see shit. Holy shit, that actually popped them. But yeah, again. I don't know why some people sometimes just categorize me as a Hoi streamer. That's absolutely mental. When I literally have streamed so much that is not Hoi 4. I'm literally in the middle of a war for the game right now.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Go. Oh, it's over. Where's the 20 mil? Where's the... Oh, it's so over. Hope there's more guild free soon. It's fun, but like everybody always plays the same, and I'm just, it's just like I'm not good at the game, but I have fun just like being there and like playing. That's one of the like again. I want to point out as well, there are games where I want to be good at. If I feel I'm good at it, I actually want to do well in it. But like people sometimes are like, yeah, Bo only posts when he wins and he does good stuff and shit like that. Like. There's so many games I'm bad at where I posted a video and I'm so terrible. Just look at the last Ready or Not video. I hit like 2 shots out of like 400 shots I fire. And people will be like, yeah, Bo's ego is too big. He only posts when he's good at stuff. And I'm just like, do you watch my content? Or do you just choose to only watch the stuff where I do well? Or where I edit myself to, well, looks to the camera. There's a guy up here, I can hear him. I hate this map, by the way. This map fucking sucks cock. There's another guy down there. I can hear him, but I can't see him. Thermal! Where are you? You little son of a bitch. Oh, thermal is so good. I'm officially like been thermal pilled. Did he break his mouse yet? Not yet. Oh my god. Oh. Wait, was that an enemy? Oof. That is unlucky, buddy.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Sadly, this thing does not get thermal, it only gets this. Oh, my eyes actually hurt when I do that. Ow.
Thank you very much.
You want to try again? Oh, we did nothing. No, you say, Gran, you forget about this. I remember I found a spare mouse. I found a spare mouse, and I have not activated it yet. It is still in the packaging. Why am I having a good game now?
Attack the A point.
This map sucks, and I'm having a good game. This is not fair.
Attention to the map.
There's a guy behind us? I am at the problem, I don't know, did I say it last night on stream chat that I've reached the point where the cat's trying to bite the wires now? Because she wasn't doing that the first week we had her, and you know, you saw her laying on camera on her, and she wasn't, well, she wasn't really biting the wires at all. She was just attacking the screen. And now she's biting the wires. I don't know, man.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
It's over. Chili oil towel. Okay. Yeah, but then you have oil everywhere. That's actually so true. Also got new plane chat. Not that it's gonna help me at all this tier. Look. This garbage fucking plane. K4 is good. It just feels slower than the G I had. I can't remember what it's called. Is it the G4 I had? The previous plane. Because it's stock. This isn't stock right now, though. I got the gun pods and everything. But it is kind of trolling that I'm taking this into a 10.7. Did I get up to it? I feel like I did get up to it and we're at 10.7. Can still shoot down helicopters though. But AA missiles will... oh my god. Radar guided AA. Get down! Yeah, good luck hitting me. You're too reliant on your radar, pussy. If you want, you can open a squadron for your subs and grind squad. I can't be asked. I've seen there are some of them that looks cool, but I literally cannot be asked. That guy's literally just sitting there. Please bring in a helicopter. He hit me.
A little more effort and victory will be yours.
Bo doesn't want a solution, he wants to complain. I mean, don't we all? Look at all these assists I'm getting, man. What the fuck? Should have activated the assist bit. Look at that, it's a MiG-23. I'm almost as fast as him. Oh! I could theoretically kill that thing. We're also just gaining money from teamwork right now, chat. Anything else plans for today in the evening? I don't have anything planned, but we could do something, you know. He's aiming at me. He's gonna try and take me down. Nope, we're not doing that. Oh, we gotta go home. We got a leak. So true, Packer. So true. But then just got playing other mods. Most are unbalanced for multiplayer, but I think most viewers would love watching YouTube content for everyone clipped reaction, which isn't enough to justify the physical drain that occurs from playing not fun mods. The only cases when it can be fun is when you bring some sub mod and rule set that tries. Again, sometimes, like the Age of Imperialism one, we will have fun in it, but it's not even everyone that will have fun. Like, there will be people in there that won't have fun. When you're bringing together a group of friends, it's just like you shouldn't force anyone to play it. Like, that's the thing. That's why I'm asking, because the last 2 meme games we did were trash. I keep telling Swimmy, get me a fucking mod and I'll play a meme game, because I would love to play a meme game. We have fun in those. I'm even down to just play vanilla and we just make a rule set for how to play the meme games. But then he said, oh no, planes, yada yada yada, they're broken. Have I even gotten anything for this thing yet? No. Oh god, how much XP? It's 10,000. Isn't it? Man. I just want to get the actual round for it. Probably another one with a DLC. Yeah, you'll get, like, usually you get a meme game every time there's a DLC, because I have to record something for a sponsorship and everybody wants to try out the new features, so we do a game. Am I excited? Yeah, but the problem is that they're all going to involve the balance of power mechanic, and I hate the balance of power mechanic. I think it sucks. It's just extra stuff you have to look at that I don't like. But it's fine, but I don't like it. But gonna have to live with it.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oh, we can actually get a custom speed for the Speed 1 game. That would actually be bussin'. balance of power mechanic is a little. I don't even know if that's why I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't really have any big reasoning behind it. It's just not me. Check gifts to see if anyone gave you anything recent. I can't after the match. You're just gonna remind me after the match. Yeah, I know they are custom, like that they have been changed, but I'd like to know like how fast you can. What's the discussion about the mod? Well, Packer, yeah, ideally I'd want it to be as long as a Twitch stream could possibly be. Well, actually, hang on. So, hold on. Let me just think here for a second, because I just said something stupid here. So the game, the game is the problem is with a Hoi 4. I hate this. 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 I don't even know where to go. I'm just getting hit and nothing's. I can't do anything. If I go this way, I die. If I go the other way, I die. It's over. So that guy's sitting right there and he's camping me. I'm just gonna start repairing here. I don't care.
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
There's just no point in life.
Attention to the map.
Yeah, Packer, the idea, well, we don't need to sort it out after the stream, because, like, the idea for the one-speed game, again, I will say this, it'll happen in December. Like, I want to do it as the charity stream, okay? Like, I've said this to a lot of people at this point, but, like, I feel like it's a good idea for the charity stream. How's he alive? God. I'm a living god, that's why. Gods can't die. Usually when I say this stuff, I explode like 2 seconds later. See, the only thing that could have made that more perfect was if I got hit by like a giant shell, so my tank was just, you know, when you explode so much that the tank just disappears? That's the only way that could have been better. What tank is that? That was the Leopard 2K. Man. That's unlucky.
Need backup.
Shoot, 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 shoot. No! How are you so slow at reloading? What was I going on about? Oh yeah, Flojo's bad at Steel Edition. That was what I was talking about.
Attention to the map.
We're not having a good game right now. I'll be completely honest, chat. If we could get another capture, maybe it'd be turned into an okay game. Because of the money. Okay. From where? Got him. I'm gonna die here. I can't move! What is your retrospective on the last Hoi game? Finally an Axis win again. You went to bed too early, didn't you, Mr. Finn? You went to bed way too early. Alright, how do I check gifts? I have to go into the website, right? Gaijin. I'll be honest with you, Finn. You missed out on the Axis losing. That's what you missed out on. Why wouldn't I let Golden play Germany? It turns out to be good games, Packer. Like, at the end of the day, people always say, oh, they're bad games. But let's be honest here, Packer. Your spreadsheet says different. How do I see this? Store? Gaijin box? Gifts? You don't have any sent or incoming gifts. Still saying he should play some allies for some games. Flojo, who's gonna, like, unironically, last time, the reason why I'm not in the mood to do it is because last time I did this, we literally had problems filling out the Axis nations. We literally had problems with it. I have banned fucking... When I banned you and fucking Zulu, I've also banned Golden. I banned Golden for 3 games from playing the Axis. Last time I did a minors on majors, Packer, I had to fight people to get on majors. I literally had to fucking fight them. Like, I want to do these things, and people ask me to do them, and then when I finally do them, they don't want it. They don't themselves pick the stuff that they ask for, and I'll forgive me if I don't want to do it after that. Like, if I've done it, maybe Saturday will help some of the people around. Maybe. I don't know when the next, like, Saturday game could be, though. Like, it won't be for, like, 2 weeks at least. Because I'm... This weekend, I've got a friend over. Next weekend, I've got a wedding on the Saturday. So it'll overall be hard to do Saturday games until... It'll be, like, 3 weeks the next Saturday game, actually. I'm doing something absolutely stupid here. We've got to do something here. You've got to do stupid plays to win. I can't see. No. We're not getting killed from that angle. He's right there. What a fucking pussy, man. Oh my god! I would have never had a chance against him anyways. It's a term. It's over. Now I know, Packer. I'm just venting my frustrations. I'm not like I'm not angry at you. I'm just venting because it's just. It's annoying when that happens, okay? When you try and host games. We were talking about, me and Pete were talking about joining, like, you know, the registered, like, criminal War Thunder gaming scene. As, you know, during the next sale, we were gonna buy the Term, the 2S38, and then, what was it, the KA50. And then, what was the other one you could buy in the lineup? So you'd have like 4 ridiculously overpowered tanks. No, 3 tanks and a helicopter. Maybe a plane as well. Like, see, like, you get like the absolute most degenerate, like, lineup you possibly can. Like...
Allied forces have captured a zone.
You could fill majors, but you could you'd have to open up for filthy peasants. We do that once in a while. We don't allow them on majors because we... If anyone here remembers the guy that said he had like 1,000 hours in Hoi, picked Italy, and didn't know how to actually play the game. We had to teach him how to set up like fallback lines and shit like that. That is why we don't allow new people on majors. My life is too short for new people on majors. I don't mind new people. They just aren't coming in on majors. You gotta prove that you actually, like, you're able to play the game. Like, you know how to move units. That's also true, Packer. There are people in here, like, let's say you got, like, Flojo on Germany as your co-op. That's a problem right there. Or you've got, you know... Flojo on Russia, that's also a problem. Or Flojo on the US, Japan. Flojo on anything, really. Any nation, not even a major. Just Flojo on any nation. India. I'm obviously kidding, guys, but... In a minors on majors game, Flojo can play whatever he wants. It's all about balancing the games, though. That's the most important factor in a minors on major game. Or just as a host, you have to balance the games, and you have to, like, rule fair. You saw what I did yesterday when I actually broke the rules on my own? I didn't even ask, do I have to do this for everyone else? I just punished myself instantly. I broke the rules regarding how you're supposed to swap templates. Instantly swapped them back again. Oh, his breach is gone. That's unfortunate, buddy. I am so sorry for your loss. Oh my god. No, 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 no! What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying, I'll be honest with you guys.
Attention to the map.
Attention to the map.
Flojo on majors? I feel like I went on about something else right before I got the breach on that guy. Oh yeah, when I broke the rules by swapping templates, so I didn't lose XP on it, I immediately just swapped it over to another template, and then back again. I would have lost less initially XP. Like, because I swapped it to a shitter marine template first and then back to the other one. Initially, I would have lost less XP if I had followed the rules, but instead, I punished myself so hard that they got down to a minus 25% and had no strength in the last days, on the last couple of months of the Spanish Civil War. It's thundering outside. And that's what I think, like, you as a host, it's very hard to sometimes be the host as well, and you're actively playing in the game, because people won't recognize when you punish yourself or your own team. They won't remember that, but they'll remember the times and focus on the times when you punish the enemy team and help your own team. That's the curse of being the host. They think you're being biased. Yeah, like Lego Agent. That's like the again, the example with the attaché is a great one, because like people, Dankus has just posted the video. People will bring up and over focus the one time I didn't do it. Well, the one time where I after the whole host tool's been added and it happens, and I then use the host tool to enforce stuff. And then they say you didn't do that when it happened to Golden during the Japanese war in China. And I'll say, yeah, sure, I didn't do it then, but I've done it 3 times afterwards when it was on my own team that did it to the enemy. And they just will ignore that and say there's no evidence for that. You didn't do that. It's just, it's as a host, people will always over-focus the stuff that they think you are biased on, in comparison to people will always remember the bad stuff you've done, not the good stuff you've done in those situations. That's also true, Packer. Nobody would be. We would have to get, like, I don't even know, some random fucking like person to like that didn't even know who any of us were to rule the game if we wanted an unbiased opinion. Thank you, Lowe's, for the 29. War Thunder time. Boat Thunder. But unfortunately, that's the power of responsibility. I know, Sapro, but it just gets to me sometimes that people will remember the time, and it's not even because, in my opinion, I'm not even being biased. It's just people will. It can come off as being biased sometimes. Right? And people will not comment on the times when you're like. Another great example is if I don't punish someone that's on the enemy team and like they break a rule, right? They're on the opposite team and I don't punish them in the case, then I will be called too soft as a host, right? That has happened a million times. That like Braun has flamed me for not punishing Golden for something that wasn't even in the rules. How was that not a kill? I could just use my 20 mil. I don't know what I'm doing now. Boom. Do you have any War Thunder content for YouTube saved anywhere? Not at the moment, but like I always like whenever I play a game, I always like record slowly. But if you punish someone else, you're biased. But if you punish yourself, it never actually happened. That's pretty much like not even just myself, but if I punish my own team, like there's just so many aspects to it as a host where people will be angry at you regardless of what you do. Like if I punish the enemy team, my team will be happy because something happened. And like it's even if it's not a fair choice or it's a fair choice, they'll be happy. The enemy team, if it's a fair choice, they'll be angry that they got punished even though they broke the rules, or if it was something made up to make it fair, or whatever, they'll be angry. if I don't punish something happening, my team will even if it's not against the rules, they'll call me too soft and I need to like just act on it. I'm the host, I should just do it because I can do it as the host. If it's against the rules, they'll be happy, and if I obviously angry if I don't punish it. Like, it's just, you can't win as the host, and you have to, like, as someone said, that's the power of responsibility, and you just have to sometimes be the bad guy regardless. You can't have everyone be happy.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Wasn't there a guy right here? I swear someone just died. At that point, you just let other people be hosts, but Packer already brought that point up, that it's literally impossible unless we get someone completely random to be the host. It is literally impossible. Like, I would almost have to go out on the street and pick some random guy up and make them host the game in order for it to be unbiased. If we get someone from my chat, someone from Golden's chat, someone from Swimmy's chat, someone from Braun's chat, there'll be a chance that there's bias towards them. You say you can be the host, Shmuley. The problem is you're a viewer. You have your own opinions. It's over. Have you lost any friends over Hoi 4? I've lost friends over a Hoi 3 game back in the day. Like when I was like 15 years old. Literally got banned from the Ventrilo server because I broke the rules. I've explained this before. It's how I actually ended up meeting a lot of the guys. Like, Swimmy was in the same server as me back then, but Schaefer, Braun, all those guys, Kepler, like, it's how I ended up meeting those guys because I got kicked out of that place and then I ended up in the other place. Because like, we were doing a Hoi 3 game and there were set rules on how many people could be in the factions before the game. And I can't remember who I was playing as, I'll be completely honest. But I just remember there was a Belgian player in the game. And for some reason, we hadn't calculated the amount of players in the game, right? And we were too many players. Like, we were just enough players to fill out the factions according to the rules. Except for one person who, if nobody got him into their faction, he would just not be in a faction chat. Like... And I felt sorry for him, so I was like, he's Belgium. I can just put him into my faction. It's not like it's gonna change the game. And that, like, caused an argument, because I was like, dude, like, my entire point was, are we just not gonna have him in a faction then? Like, that... And we started yelling at each other a bunch of shit, because I felt it was unfair to that guy, and yada yada yada. And it ended up with me getting banned from the whole thing. And I didn't talk to, I think it was 3 of the guys ever again or something. Because they stuck with that, while Swimmy, me, Tipper, Schmidt, you know him, we all went to, like, wherever Schaefer and Kepler and Braun was instead. Shmuley forgot what line. What? Yeah, but sometimes had to exist like a big argument. Well, it's all about like dealing fair punishment. Whatever happened to the Pashalas fella? He got into some stupid controversy with both on my Discord and on other people's Discords, where he had some opinions where I simply could not like associate with him anymore. Like, in my line of work, if you have specific opinions, it's not again, I'm not even gonna say what it was, because I also, like, just, and not even necessarily like it's just the opinion and the way. The problem was mostly he's a non-English speaker, right? So he phrased everything incredibly bad as well, and it just started spiraling out of control. And we had like I just had to stop associating with him because he just had some bad opinions. And he essentially just like exiled himself with what he was doing, because we even told him to not do, like, we tried to save his ass as well. We were like, don't go out and like say shit like that. Like, it's opinions that he can have fine in like his own like little world, but it was just, you start going public about shit like that and people start misunderstanding what you're saying. That shit can be really bad. Technically, I never stopped associating with Grisha. I think I was one of the only servers and the streamers that did not ban him and like get rid of him on the like invasion date, right? But he then just typed a message to me and said he was gonna he was just gonna remove himself because he didn't want to cause me any trouble. Which I respected. Like, I was like, that's understandable, right? Oh my god, I hate the term. I hate the term so fucking much, man. No, Pashalis wasn't right though. That was not the reason.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
I kind of just want to do the bet, honestly, like the other one. Like, this is just ridiculous at this point. This just doesn't feel okay. Or maybe I should play... I should actually start trying to play the game instead of just, like, driving in there. Hang on, I gotta look at the lineup we were looking at for after this game. The one we were thinking on when the sale comes on. Do you know anybody in your group to be left or right extreme, but... shut their mouth about it? I don't think, out of the current roster of people we have right now, that there is anyone that is incredibly right or left wing.
The enemy is winning.
We have both left wing and right wing people in our group, and we have like center people, like, but we don't have anyone that's on the like far right or far left. That is not a thing we have in our group at the moment.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Like, if I would just guess, like, I am like center right. That's me, right? I'm center right. I am Swimmy, I would guess, is either center right or right. Schaefer is center left or left, I think. I'm just guessing. This is just my guesses, my personal guesses from what I've noticed and heard. ISP, I would assume he is center or right. I don't actually know. ISP, I don't actually know. I cannot tell you from what he says. Flojo, please, like, that meme is so dead. ISP, what would you identify as? Just like if we're going from far left to far right, and you could say far left, left, center left, center right, right, far right. What would you do? What are you, ISP, on the axis? Because I say I'm center right, and my guess on you would be center right. Anarcho Spiderist. Oh, Abra.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Attention to the map.
Ravanis, the problem is that there's no party that actually, like, aligns with my my ideology in Denmark, and I refuse to vote for the parties that are in government at the moment. I think it's the better option from the election in our country, but I voted for. There would be a lot of Danish people that hate me for voting for what I voted for, but I voted for the Liberal Alliance in Denmark. So, but I would usually call myself a voting for Venstre, which is called the left, what is actually to the right. But fuck, what's spawned there? I don't know, Mr. Finn. I don't know enough about the German politics to figure out which party I should vote for. You always thought I was a communist? I love our welfare system in Denmark. I love the welfare state that we have, right? But I am highly against having the current. There should be wealth redistribution in society, right? But I'm highly against the current function of the tax brackets right now, because it essentially prevents the middle and lower classes, especially the middle class, from growing stronger than what they are and getting higher up to the higher class. For instance, if you want to go higher than the middle class, it's very hard because you pay 55% tax on everything past like a specific amount, very low amount. We've been over this multiple times. That is the tax bracket system. I think should be redone. It should be recreated so people up until upper middle class, like it depends on how you define the upper middle class, should pay less than what they are now in taxes, but people in the upper class, like we're talking about the millionaires out there, they should pay more in tax if you're still making that amount of money. Why did you vote Liberal Alliance if you like the welfare system? Because they, on the other hand, also want to increase the amount of money you can make before you get taxed in the... Statistics say you are wrong. Denmark has the highest level of social mobility in the world. Yes, it is easy than in any other country in Denmark to move from the lower class to the middle class, but it is hard to move from the middle class to the upper class because of the amount of tax you get slammed with immediately. If you already have money, that's not a problem. Or if you make an obscene amount of money, like, okay, right now, if you make... Okay, this is my point. Let me try and get my point out to you guys. If you make... I'm just going to get the amount here. If you make $86,000 a year, you pay 55% tax on anything past the $86,000 a year, right? But, and this is where my point comes in. If you make, let's say, you make $1 million a year, you pay the same amount of tax as the guy who's making $86,000 a year. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. You should be paying. You should either lower the amount of tax that the guy that makes 86K pays, or you should what's it called? Raise the tax that the guy that makes $1 million pays, because that's not. Our system isn't very flexible at the moment. It's the hard line for, oh, you're just considered like you make a shit ton of money after 86K, like. I'm on board so far.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
That's actually a very good point. I'm telling you, I think it's similar in German. It's just really I just don't think it's fair that if you make 86K a year, which I will point out, like, I don't even think it's 86K. Top Scat is where is 2023. I gotta get the right number. Is 563k, right? 68k. If you make $81,000 a year, I don't think it's fair that anything you make past that amount, you have to pay the same as the guy that's making. So let's say you made $100,000 a year. The next $19,000 you make after the remaining $19,000 you make that year, you have to pay 55% tax on. And the guy that's making $1 million after that amount also has to pay that. There's no bracket after that. That's what I hate. I want the middle class and the lower class to be taxed less. I also want our tax-free bracket to and that involves the lower class, chat. The lower class needs to be taxed less before, or needs to have the ability to make more money before they get taxed. Because at the moment, the tax-free bracket as well, that's another thing. By the way, if you didn't know about this is not something the socialist parties in Denmark like to talk about. Liberal Alliance is for, like the party I voted for, is for the fact that the lower classes should get a tax cut as well. Which means that right now, frikort 2023. You can make 38,000 Danish before you have to pay taxes. That is fuck all money if you're poor. That is $5,400 a year you can make without being taxed for it. That's insanity. If you're poor, we should raise that to 100,000 Danish you can make before you should pay taxes. Or maybe double it. Let's just say double it. So 80,000 Danish before you pay taxes. 80,000 Danish before you pay taxes. Which is literally $11,000, and then you pay taxes after that.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
It's just, it hurts me, because a lot of the, socialist parties won't, they can't attack Liberal Alliance for that point. Because it's inherently, it's not even a socialist thought. It's a liberal thought that helps. No way. I thought I might be able to get him. I want more money for the lower classes and less money for the elite. I want it to be easier for the middle class to get to the upper middle class or the higher class. And I want it to be easier for the lower class to afford basic commodities as well, before they get taxed out the ass. I was basically a Democrat in America. I feel like that's 90% of Europeans that would be a Democrat in America. I'll be honest with you. Maybe not the Eastern Euros, but... Let's hear your take on immigration. Alright. So, I am primarily for immigration, because if you know anything about Danish or a lot of European societies, you need immigration. Our birth rate is, to put it in Vicky terms, our birth rate, we don't have enough pops in the country, chat. That's to put it in Vicky terms. There's not enough pops. It's over. I didn't get the right hit. Alright, so I just had to cope over that. I didn't get the hit on that guy. I should have just aimed for the turret instead of like trying like the Russian mental. But to understand, Europe and a lot of Western countries have a population crisis at the moment, where people are living longer, especially in the Nordic countries where we have a very, very good welfare system. A lot of people will need that welfare system when they get their pensions, when they have to be looked after by caretakers, hospital bills, everything there, right? There's a lot of stuff that's going on that, ow, okay, we survived. Longer time to explain. That needs to be taken care of. If you don't have the population to... Uh-oh.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Oh, I didn't even see that guy. If you don't have the population to replace the old people when they go there, how are you going to make the money to keep the welfare system up? And that is a problem, because if the average like Danish couple gets like, for every 2 people we replace ourselves by 1.5 at the moment, we're gonna need people, so you need immigration. Now, am I critical to what type of immigration we get? Yes, of course I am. You'd be stupid not to do that if you live in a welfare state. If you're just getting people that want to come here for the benefits and not like actually do work, then we have a problem. Like that's not like I would prefer if I could get highly educated people in here, like or what do you call it, like carpenters, builders, like people that work with their hands. What do you call? What's the English word for that? Laborers, you need laborers as well. Tradesmen, laborers, artisans, stuff like that too. You need a lot of that stuff too. And like, we are getting a lot of immigration like that from Eastern Europe, for instance. That's really good, because you need that. Our government did a massive mistake telling everybody to go to university a few years ago, and everybody's gotten a university degree. And we actually have a lack of laborers, like stuff like that. And you need stuff like that in your country. And so immigration's like it can't just be people that, like, okay, so let me put it like this. You either need to be able, I don't even care if you can speak Danish, or I would prefer you try and learn it. If you move to a country, if I did that too, I would try and learn the language, right? Or at least learn it basics. 2, if you can speak English, that's like one of my main requirements. You need to be able to communicate with people, so we don't need to have a fucking translator with you everywhere you go. Like that's another hot take. I don't know if that's actually a hot take for immigration, that you need to be able to communicate, so we don't have a fucking translator. So the government has to buy and hire a translator to have with you everywhere you go. That doesn't work. Like there are some takes that I will have, that you need immigration with limitations. Like that you can't just take everything. You can't just open the floodgates like America did in fucking, like, I don't know, like the 1600s. Probably the 1600s, what am I talking about? Like, back in the day in America, you know, the great times. I want immigration that can come in and help the country be, and it's not just I want, I need it. We need it as a country. Then there's also the point that America's a lot more accepting of immigrants nowadays than back. Well, are they actually? I feel like that was a point where they literally accepted everyone in back in the day, Braun, where you literally just showed up in the boat and you got in. Only if you were from Western Europe. Okay. I didn't know that.
Attention to the map.
Well, I guess I kind of knew that, but I didn't know, like... But either way, like, anyone who is against immigration has no idea what consequences it's gonna have for you. Like, who is just flat out anti-immigration. You have no idea what consequences it's gonna have for your nation in the future. Like, if you're living in a nation where you're like per 2 people, you're not like reproducing your population by like 2. Like, you need to reproduce. Oh fuck! I forgot to. Oh, that was one of my guys. I forgot to actually change the ammo, you're right. I'm so fucked. I gotta reverse. Does this thing come with a laser rangefinder? No, it does not. I gotta get out of here. Run. Oh, okay. I didn't actually know about that, bro. But either way, like, I'm also like I have my doubts about like letting everyone in. Like, it's also with like when you come to the country, like if you actually want to immigrate to some place, like you need to be more critical. Fuck. I can kill that guy with a 20, alright? But he could also just, like, nuclear explosion me. Okay, so my take on this also, as when you run the Nordic welfare models that we have, where, like, it's very high welfare state, you can't take in people that basically come to just take the benefits, if that makes sense. Like, you show up to that like we have some horror examples of people that have had we took in from war zones where the law said that once one person arrives, they can bring it's called familiesammenførsel, where they will bring their entire family here, and they will all end up getting benefits. Only one of them, only the husband will work and stuff like that. Like, and they'll collect. There'll be way more of a detriment for the society than like they contribute, if that makes sense. Like that can be a problem, and that's something you really have to worry about in the welfare states in the Nordic countries. It can literally destroy economies, right? But obviously the vast majority of people do not do that. But that's why you also want to be critical of what you take in. You don't just take a shovel and take it all.
Attention to the map. Attention to the designated grid zone.
I could drive over and kill this guy. That wasn't enough. It's over. Should... Okay, next take. Should... Oh. Next take. Who should run the country? Politicians with no degrees that just have silver tongues? Or scientists? I think sometimes it can be necessary. I think it should be a combination of both. Because sometimes scientists and people with degrees won't be able to run a country. They won't have the understanding of it. Like, sure, like it'd be like they would know better on some things, but that'd also be a shit ton of stuff where they wouldn't be able to. Like, people with silver tongues are able to get stuff done sometimes. I think it should be a combination. You can't just have one. What's your opinion on direct democracy? Some points, again, I feel like at some points I feel like they have it better than what we have, but it would also, I don't know, like it also has its problems. Scientists know nothing about administration politicians as much as we hate them. We weren't just talking about scientists. He also said people with degrees. Like the degree I have, oh my Dave, in that I got from uni is literally called politics and administration. So I'm literally like, I've literally studied administration. I can give my hot take on the Quran burnings if you really want me to, Monk. Some people will agree and some people will be mad at me. You'll get cancelled? I'm pretty sure I already typed my stuff on Twitter. Let me see if I can just find my tweet. Didn't I type on Twitter about this? I swear I typed on Twitter about this. Like, I feel like my take was really good on it on Twitter as well. Let's see, what's my take? Alright. So the take that they did, my take that I typed was, hang on, let me see, can I find it? Oh yeah, this was it. It's like the organization, the OEC, what's the direct, like it's something like Organization Islamic Cooperation. They're like, yeah, Denmark and Sweden, you need to stop burning the Quran. Make it illegal, right? Otherwise, bad things will happen, like Al-Qaeda declares war on us, shit like that, like a bunch of shit goes down, they're all angry at us. And that my take is just like, why should they be able to decide, like, first of all, let me actually say the thing that I added to it. Let me be clear here. I think it's deeply disrespectful to burn the fucking Quran or anyone's fucking holy book. However, I also think it's hypocritical to sit there as the OEC or any Islamic country down there and demand that kind of law change when they have when they literally have laws against our way of life. Like, you will literally get fucking tried for being homosexual in Saudi Arabia. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure, isn't it also illegal, for instance, in Saudi Arabia to practice Christianity in public? Like, it's just the hypocrisy in it. Like, that just gets to me. That the hypocrisy that you can unironically sit there and say you need to change your way of life, but we won't change our way of life for you. Fucking women in Saudi Arabia can't even drive a car, like, without, like, having a fucking, what was it called? Like, a veil? What's veil in English? English? Like a guardian with them. Oh, they can't drive now? Did they actually change it? Most Muslim countries use holy law from Quran, so of course they ban. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's insanity to me that they're trying to literally, like, ban stuff from us. Like, I think most people here in our country, I'm assuming most people in Sweden and Norway as well, think that the people that are burning the Quran are fucking stupid. Like, but we just ignore them. Like, nobody fucking cares. Like, you're fucking stupid for doing it. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, the guy tried to get elected. Like, the guy who started it all literally tried to get elected, and he didn't get in. He didn't get voted in. Nobody cares. I think we should make it illegal to burn holy scriptures. We already did that, Lawrence. But the whole point is, I don't think religion should be exempt from that. Lawrence, a good take that I like the actually Liberal Alliance's take is, you're not allowed to go and burn the Quran in front of Turkey's embassy, right? Fair. But I can go and take Karl Marx's book and burn it outside of Enhedslistens, the Communist Party's fucking office. I'm allowed to burn Karl Marx's book there. Why is that allowed? There are dedicated fucking socialists and communists in the country, but I could just do that. Yeah, it's just illegal in public, but that's the point. Like, I can sarcastic Dane. You're 100% right. We didn't make it's just illegal in public now, but I can still publicly just walk over in front of like a communist and burn the communist book and piss them off that way. Why is that allowed? Burning books in Berlin is burning books is really bad. Just a reminder: book burnings in Berlin of Jewish authors or non-Aryan authors in 1938. That's completely different, though. That's a very, very bad analogy, because some people I know, for instance, instances of Iranian women who escaped oppression from Iran and escaped to Sweden were burning the Quran as a way of expressing their newfound freedom, like, and kind of getting back at what was oppressing them. It is their way of demonstrating against the like what was keeping them down. You got to keep that in mind, that it's very, very different. Enhedslistens are not communists. Okay, if you say that, Laurits, that's all you want to say. That you can have that opinion. You can have that opinion, but they are very much communist. If that's the case, then hang on, let me just get if the offspring of the Communist Party is not communist, then the offspring of the Nazi Party is not a Nazi party. But I don't know, man. That's just capping. Pretty sure they literally want, like, Enhedslisten literally want to, like, have state-owned businesses. They want to, like, what's it called? Unprivatized businesses, like some businesses that are too big. They want them to be nationalized. Parts of the party do, not the official party line. I haven't read the newest thing in the party line. I just know that there was a lot of stuff that was very sus in that thing, and they were very, very Russia friendly as well until very recently. Like, they literally wanted Denmark to leave NATO. They were also they were also very iffy about aiding Ukraine in the beginning and shit like that. There was a lot of stuff that was very sus-mongous in there. They have people. They have some stuff in there that scares me. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad they don't get enough. Also, did you just type they are democratic socialists? I don't think that. No. If we got to meet in the center here, they're just flat out socialists. That's just not. They're not democratic socialists. Like that. That's just not true at all. Pretty sure like Socialdemokratiet is more like considered democratic socialism. social democrats and democratic socialists are not the same thing. Correct, but the social democrats are democratic socialists. That's literally the definition. I'm pretty sure it is. We run democratic socialism in Denmark, but Enhedslisten is socialists, whereas Venstre, Venstre I would also define as democratic socialist as well. Because that's the thing that people get wrong as well. Like, we don't have socialism in Denmark. We have democratic socialism. At least that's how I define us. I daglig tale, Enhedslisten er et dansk socialistisk parti. Ja. Well, I guess, Sadia, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a better way of describing it. But it's just, when I try to explain it to Americans still, Sadir, it's better to say I'd still say, because Americans will say we're just socialists sometimes, Sadir. And I still feel like or a democratic, I'm fucking up the words now. But I'd still say we're closer to that than it, and it's easy to explain. So democratic socialists work for a social state, but there's a difference between democratic socialists and socialists, though. Americans don't even know what liberal means. Why explain more complicated things? You gotta keep in mind that usually when, probably right now we're sitting with I would assume more Euros than Americans at this point, right? But I still always try to explain things as if I'm talking to an American. That's what I'm usually trying to explain it to. Because Americans have a hard time understanding. Americans will think that Denmark is literally, sometimes some Americans, I'm not saying Braun does this, but I'm saying some Americans that will watch this stream will think that Denmark is the equivalent of Venezuela or the Soviet Union. There will be retards over there that will think that we're just a socialist country. That you can't afford a car in Denmark. And that's always the approach I have to when I talk about things on the stream. Imagine explaining the radical left to an American. The radical left, which is actually not even that radical, which is just... It's kind of like a left-leaning party with right-leaning economics party policies. That would be very. It's a. Whew. It's not that radical, and it's not that left. It's like that's a really interesting party to explain because it's like very. Well, I'd still say they're very left-leaning in social policies, Sadir, but they're. Would I say very right-leaning with their economic policies, but they're definitely right-leaning with their economic policies. Enhedslisten is definitely socialist, but they're not Marxists. Agreed, but I will say that there are definitely people within the Enhedslisten that are Marxists and communists, that are literally previous communists in that party. Just like there are some of the other right-leaning parties had previous Nazis in their parties. Like, I'll be honest, I'll put it like this, Lauritz. I would be scared for our country if Enhedslisten took power. Like, I would literally, if they somehow gained 51% of the voters and they could just do a single, a full-on, like, majority government on their own, I would be scared. I would genuinely be scared. Just like I would genuinely be scared if, Danmarks Demokraterne got full power or something. Okay, now we're on the same wavelength then. I would move to Sweden if that happened. You know, I think I'd move to Norway before I moved to Sweden. You're scared of Enhedslisten because you're a bourgeoisie scum. No, I'm scared they'll actually just tank our economy and surrender our country to the Russians. Don't tell me they're fucking tankies. There are definitely tankies within the party. The party line has changed recently, but the party line used to be that we should leave NATO. That was the party line, that we should leave NATO. And they definitely have had people within Enhedslisten that had close ties to the Russians. Can't remember their names exactly, but I know there's been scandals about it in the past. I don't know if any of the Danes will remember that, or if our Enhedslisten's friend in chat will try to find it himself, or admit that that happens. Their manifesto is fucking crazy, Sadie. Like, they have insane politicians, I give you that. Like, they have ridiculous politicians, but when you actually read their manifesto, it's fucking mental. Once you're in NATO, is there a reason to leave other than get you kicked out? They think that NATO is inherently an aggressive organization. I'm pretty sure, like, that's what their logic is, and that we should just not be part of it. They just don't like NATO. Oh, I forgot that I got new ammo again. So stupid. You know, Sadie, I know many people who voted for her because she was hot. Oh, but like, Enhedslisten has some very, very sus people with sus opinions in their party, which is why it is, like, that's especially when it comes to Russia and NATO, I am very scared if they were ever to get majority, and also for the state of the Danish economy, because they do want to nationalize specific industries to a degree. Michael Hertoft on the board of Enhedslisten said the West bears a lot of responsibility. Yeah, literally, like, I remember in the initial stages of the invasion, they were also against sending aid to Ukraine. Like, in the initial stages, they were like, no, guys, we're just gonna cause more death. We're just gonna cause more death. Yeah, you scared. You sit down there. He's trying. You can see his antenna. Fuck it, let's go. Let's gangster blast. Let's see what he's got. Oh, that is unfortunate, buddy. You're on fire? Oh, unfortunate. Doing nothing is silent approval of the invasion. Also true. I'm not sure, but I think they were against military aid like weapons, but not... Yeah, that was the initial stage. They didn't want to give military weapons. They were also against expanding the military in Denmark afterwards. They've been against expanding the military for fucking ages, but that lines up with them not wanting to be part of NATO as well. It's just... there's so much I disagree with in that party on foreign policy that it's just... I am scared for our country if they ever took charge. I am genuinely scared. And then I'm honestly gonna say that the fact that you put me in the box, sure, it's also partially because you say, oh, it's because you're part of the bourgeoisie. Yeah, fucking, according to them, according to those motherfuckers in that party, a fucking high school teacher is part of the bourgeoisie. That's the fucking troll about their party. They want to, like, a high school teacher already pays the max tax possible in Denmark, and those motherfuckers want to tax the high school teachers even more. Like, I'm pretty sure, according to them, like, 60% of the Danish population is part of the bourgeoisie or some dumb shit. That's also true. They're against the EU as well. Which is why I actually voted for them once, because I was protesting in an election. I was voting for their sister party, which is why I am being called communist sometimes, because I actually voted for the sister party as a protest against... what was the article again that wanted to ban memes or whatever it was? That was when I did that. Yes, Denmark we canceled an entire holiday that's been a national holiday for literally hundreds of years. And I don't know how many hundreds of years. It's probably like a long time. And we canceled it because we needed money to increase the defense budget. And then these motherfuckers find 2 to 3 times the amount of money in the budget anyways, because, you know, they just did some new calculations, and you know, we found that money plus more, and now you're not getting your holiday back. No refunds, guys. I'm pretty sure, for the Danes in chat, didn't they actually do a poll saying that the vast majority of the Danish, or the majority of the Danish population was against banning or removing the holiday or something? But the politicians were just like, yeah, we've got the majority of parliament, Lamau, see you around, kid. They were literally like, you voted us in, so these polls don't mean shit to us. That's a case where direct democracy would have saved us a holiday. Also, it's not a week of holiday, it's a single day, by the way. It was a single day. But I will be... again, the main reason why I am very much against Enhedslisten as ever being part of a government is because of their international or foreign policy. I'm also against them for the way they want to run the country as well, like just domestically. There are things that I like about them. I like that they want to legalize weed. I like that they're very liberal on a bunch of like social freedoms. I like that. I like that part of it. Liberal Alliance is the same on that part. Like, they're like homies on that. When there's votes on that. But it ends there. What are your favorite politicians in Denmark? I don't think there's any good politicians in Denmark. I think they're all cunts, honestly. You know they're legalizing weed in Germany now, and they say it's going to be a huge problem for us because we've got so much border commerce. Because as I've said to many people, I've said a lot of times on stream that I'm gonna try. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna try aerialistic. I'm so actually no. Yeah, aerialistic's more chill. We're doing aerialistic. I've said it a couple times on stream that, like, we drive across the border to buy, like, we produce the beer in Denmark, we drive it across the border, that way there's not, the return money on it, what do you call it, like, you get money when you hand in the cans and the bottles, what do you call that? Pence? Recycling deposit. We'll use recycling deposit. You don't get the deposit. So we have deposits on bottles and cans and shit in Denmark, but if you buy it in Germany, they don't have it. So we produce the shit in Denmark, and then you drive it over the border on trucks, right? And then the Danes drive across the border. We buy it in Germany, and we import it back to Denmark, right? There's a lot of that stuff going on here, where we and I'm like, because it's also cheaper to buy it in Germany. There's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of big brain plays here. It's not very good for the environment, let's be honest here. Like, producing it in Denmark, driving it back across, driving it to Germany, then we drive down to pick it up, and we drive it back up again. It's not very good for the environment, but it's cheap, so we do it. More fuel. Now, the problem now is that Germany is planning on legalizing weed. Is that correct, chat? Any Germans in chat? I'm pretty sure that's at least how I read it, skimmed it in the news. Is that true? Dr. James Fang with the 18. Yes, they're legalizing weed, right? Now, how do you make sure that Danes don't bring back weed across the border when they're just going over to buy beers and sodas and whatever? Like, how do you make sure of that? Do you have to check every single car? Because you're not going to find it. You're not going to stop them. Oh, the Dutch have the same problem? We are your Netherlands now. Oh, yeah, because the Germans did it in the Netherlands. I didn't even think about that. Like, that's why I'm just like, at that point, you just need to legalize it, right? Like, well, it's a lost battle now. That's why I'm just saying, like, why don't we just legalize it at this point? There's no point, like, in even trying. Like, I don't understand why it's a lost battle at that point. But it may be a holy shit. Oh, that was just armored cars. But the difference here in comparison to, like, the Dutch, where you guys went to the Dutch, or the English went to the Dutch, pick shit up, is that we were already doing it. We're already driving across the border to buy beers, sodas, whatever. It's already a massive thing. It's a huge industry here that you do this. Like, it's massive. It's Grænsehandel, border shop. And now we're just going to do the same thing, and there's no way you can control it because there's literally thousands of people every day driving across the border to do this. And now they're going to buy weed as well. That's also true, Lawrence, but my theory is that gangs will always find something else to sell. Like, gangs will always find something else. Sure, you're gonna legalize weed then they're just gonna start selling fucking cocaine in there instead. Like, let's be honest there, Lawrence. If you actually legalized it as well, you can tax it as well, chat. Imagine that. You can actually tax the weed, and then you get more money for the welfare system. Think about it. It's big brain. Just like, we sell something that's way worse in our country, alcohol. That literally destroys people's brains. tax and regulation. Boom. That's crazy, right? I don't want to go in first. I take it you don't drink a lot? And I used to drink a shit ton, monk. Like, well, not like an alcoholic, but like, you know, twice a week kind of thing. Where you went out sometimes. Well, probably at least once a week. Twice a week would be like the rough ones. Now I usually drink if I like if I meet up with my friends because we live in different places and we have time for it, or if I'm like at a family thing and we have like some nice alcohol, not just to like get drunk but to enjoy the alcohol. But like as a person, as a Danish person, I used to drink a lot. Drank in high school ever since I was like turned 15. On Japan 2023 ISP. I was pretty drunk during that night, but I was also in my element with all the Danish people. Yeah, Laura, it's like I don't think it's a people thing. I think it's a politician thing. Danish you drinks this shit. You know it's bad when Bo says twice a week is a lot. I couldn't do more than that. I've never been able to do more than that, monk. But I also, when I say twice a week, I'm not saying like 5 beers kind of thing. I'm saying like, you know, like 15 beers and 10 shots kind of. That's like twice a week kind of thing. Like, you know, the kind of thing where you have a blackout and you vomit all over the fucking room or whatever. That was back in the day, though. Shit-faced. Oh shit, are we actually tangoing? I'm gonna lose this one. Did I put him on fire at least? No! Okay, we can recover. I don't think I'm recovering this. I'm gonna get an assist on him though. This is the bomber you buy to make money, right? I feel like a lot of European kids do that if they're socially active. But the thing is, like, the culture that, like, I feel like the alcohol culture is different. I know that, like, I'm not trying to say we're cooler in Denmark or anything. We're definitely not cooler, but I feel like it's more of a problem in Denmark. Well, not problem, but I feel like it actually is a little bit of a problem. But it's more crazy in Denmark with how much the youth drinks in comparison to other nations. Like, if it's normal to start drinking, and it's school-sanctioned drinking at the age of 15, chat. Like, just imagine when I started high school, on the first day, you had to be hazed by your upperclassmen. And it was like, you had to do like, beer bowling, not beer bowling, what's the thing? What's the thing called in Danish? I can't remember what it's called. In the translation for English, like, where you have to run to a beer, chug it, and then run around it 10 times, like, in circles around it. Not beer pong. Ølstafet. Beerstafet. Like the... yeah. It's pretty fucked up. That's the first thing you do. You're 15 years old. You gotta buy a case of beer. You gotta go out there. You gotta do that, and you gotta do all sorts of like embarrassing shit, like eat a banana in between someone's legs and shit like that, or have a banana eaten in between your legs. They don't do that anymore because it's like they realized now. Remember, it's like 10 years since I went to high school now. Back then, it was shit like that. Like it was very humiliating as well. Like it was fucked up, and you got super fucking drunk. Like, yeah, 15. This is at 15, Sammy. Like, and this is school sanctioned shit. This was school sanctioned shit. This was on the school's property. And then after you were done with all the hazing activities outside with the beer stafette and like eating banana in between someone's legs, that's also like the thing where you like had. I can't even remember what it was you had in your mouth, but you had to like just, and these are just people you start with in like high school, right? You know, some of them you don't even fucking know. It's the first day you've met them, and you've got like this thing where you gotta like you have something in your mouth and you've got to get it to the under end of the cube, but you're only allowed to use your mouth, so you gotta basically kiss someone you don't even fucking know on the first day of school, basically, to like hand it over to the next person. But yeah, like like a lot of shit happened. Did you have to eat a banana? No, you didn't eat the banana. You had to trade it. You had to like. Well, actually, no. Hang on. You did. Somebody did have to eat the banana. I didn't have to eat a banana. I had the banana between my legs. I had to lick whipped cream off of someone's back once, though. A girl's back at some point. Did the teachers watch or something? Yeah, the teachers were just standing there. They were just laughing at it. Did you not understand when I said this was school-sanctioned, chat? Did you not understand I said this was school-sanctioned? And then after all the hazing was done, you go back inside. Then there's a big party, right? In the literal high school, there's a party where in the cafeteria where you'd normally buy your lunch, they've got a fucking bar. You can buy shots like for less than $1 each. You can buy a beer for $1, and like you get fucking wasted there, like literally fucking wasted. There was a guy on the first day there that like had a fucking threesome. He just became a legend. His name for the rest of it, like, that was the first day of high school. He had a fucking threesome outside. His name was called Player for the rest of the, like, high school. For 3 years, everybody just knew him as Player. And one of the girls as well, like, she was a virgin. So, like, he literally came, like, he called, I didn't see it, but he called someone. I heard the story afterwards that, like, he needed to change his shirt because he had blood all over his fucking shirt. Monk, I'm telling you the high school experience in 2012. This is the high school experience in 2012, okay? Well, I guess it's technically not 2012, so maybe like 2010, 11. When did I start high school? When did I graduate? 2011, my girlfriend's yelling. It's the same at my high school. Yeah, it was crazy. But I know it's not allowed anymore. There's a lot of that stuff that's definitely not allowed anymore, chat, because, you know, it's offensive, you know. There's a lot of offensive stuff happening that you were forced to do. And I'm just saying, the alcohol situation starts there because it's school-sanctioned alcohol. Like, you're literally drinking on school property. You're running around the fucking cafeteria, like the general high school, and you're just drinking. Like, the fucking high school has, like, a whole place turned into a dance floor. You're just drinking, like, fucked up. I think kids snorting meth every single toilet at your school is worse than what just drinking alcohol. Only some high schools allow it. Alcohol at schools events now. Yeah, like that was just standard back then. Like you just, and it was like, we're not just talking that's just the one time a year, chat. It was like once a month, or at the worst case, it was every 2 months there was a party where you were just drinking at the high school. The drinking usually starts earlier. I started in 7th grade. Yeah, I know some people who started in 7th grade too. I don't think I went to my first party with drinking until late 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, because I didn't like the taste of alcohol, so I was like, this is kind of I did go to a few of them earlier than that, where some girl pissed herself after she had a liter of iced tea and vodka. Like that was something. I want to point out as well that the time with the girl that pissed herself with a liter of iced tea and stuff like that, I was probably like, and she was probably like, what, like 13 or 14 years old at that point? Isn't a liter of iced tea and vodka just, it doesn't taste of vodka, it literally just tastes of iced tea. It's not a liter of vodka she had, but it was vodka mixed into a liter of iced tea, so it literally just tasted of iced tea. But yeah, I didn't like alcohol. It took me years to like beer. I didn't like beer in high school either. I drank mostly ciders back then. But I also had beer because it was cheap. And I was given a shit ton of it by my parents because, you know, they went cross border to pick it up because we lived close to the border. We just had to take a ferry ride and we were there in Germany. This is not normal. You can tell that the Danish people here are literally saying, so obviously some of the things that I've experienced may differ from them, but the drinking part of it is normal for a lot of Danish people. And like my parents had the idea that they would rather want me to learn drinking young, where they are there and are able to basically control it or have a say in it while I'm there, so I can learn alcohol while they're there to help if anything goes wrong, right? Which I think is a good point. Whereas some Americans will go out and not have touched alcohol really for most of their lives at Golden and college, and they'll get absolutely fucked, and ISP will testify for this. Like, they will have no idea of their alcohol tolerance at all, and they're like 21 years old and they have no idea what's happening. I think what your parents said is what most people in Denmark agree with. That's what, yeah. Like I feel like I that's how I'm gonna raise my children too. I think my girlfriend agrees with that. That you're supposed to give it in limitations. Like I think the first party I went to, they gave me like I don't know, like a 6-pack. That was the first thing I went to. You basically the equivalent of a 6-pack, right? You just go out there, you try and slowly find the limitation. Then the next one you get 8. Like, because you figure out, oh, he didn't drink all 6, but we'll give him 8 next time because maybe he can control it. And yada, yada. Then you have like a situation at New Year's in high school where you're suddenly fucked up. You have to go home early because like you're so fucked up you can barely walk around, and you're so fucked up you don't want to go inside, so you go around laying in the outside garden suddenly, and you're just like in your suit outside in the garden, and you don't want to go inside to embarrass yourself in front of your parents, you know, and then when you finally go inside, you're like, yeah, the party ended too early. You try and play it off, and you lay in bed, and then you pass out in bed, but you also vomit all over the room and in the bed. And then your dad comes into the room and he sees you. You don't realize this is happening because you're so fucked up. And then you wake up for the morning, and he shows you photos on his camera that he took of you while you were laying in vomit all over the place. And he's just laughing at you. edibles. That's different though. Well, my parents said that I should try weed at least, because they've both tried it. Can we have copies? I don't know if my dad still have those photos, but I would not want those to get out, because, like, it's funny, though. It's funny, because, like that's, like, kind of the thing I'd want to do as a dad, too. Your Gaijin partner? No. Oh, shit, Braun, are you in chat? We are go for the sponsorship today. I gotta end the stream in a moment then, so he can edit in the sponsorship. I could imagine Sadir. Like, it's just like you know that most of our parents, they lived in a time where shit like this was easy to get. Some of it was maybe even legal. Or it wasn't made illegal yet, like... Oh, okay. I'm gonna die. I can't even move up. Oh, this game sucks cock anyways. How much are you paying Braun for edit? Well, I don't even know how fast Braun edits these days, but I measured it in the time that it took me to edit the videos. And I will still say, like, this is no offense to Braun, but Braun edits. I assume he actually edits faster than me now. But if you look at the way I edit in comparison, like, I'd say I have more emotions in there than when he. If I do a video, that'll be more emotions in there, which it makes it take a little longer as well, because you pay a little more attention to what it is. But it's basically the same video still. It's just when I look at it, I'll notice it. You guys probably won't notice it at all, but. So he'll probably do it in like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I don't know how long Braun takes to edit a video at this point. But I've calculated a video that lasts for 10 minutes takes him 3 hours to edit, because that's what it took for me. And, well, not edit, but like put the balls on it. If you want to count the cutting and zoom-ins and like editing that's not the country balls text and stuff like that, then it's a 5-hour edit. But I still do that part. I want to put that out there. Braun only does the country balls text and speech bubbles. I still clip everything. And everything else that's not country balls, text, and speech. Oh yeah, I know weed is very easy to get, depending on what it is. But I use Adobe Premiere. To explain what Braun gets paid, he gets paid $25 an hour, and it's credited to him working for 3 hours. So he gets 75 a video. If there is a sponsor on the video, he gets double up. That's true. The editor notes he also puts on. So if he is here and alive right now, he and puts the sponsor thing in, does the sponsorship part of it, the text on the sponsor one, he gets an extra 75. So for, let's say, a 10-minute video plus sponsored on top of it, he could make 150. For about, I'd say, 3.5 hours work. Alright, since I just gotta confirm that it's done, $25 is above minimum wage. I'm pretty sure that's above Danish minimum wage as well. That's way above Danish, like what you'd expect. We don't have a minimum wage, but what, like, if you have an unskilled labor job, like work in a supermarket, that is more than what you do. Keep in mind, Braun also only does how many edits a week? Or remember, he also edits for ISPs at this. And Lauritz, that is the most base way of having minimum wages set. Unions are great, but they can also be dickheads sometimes. I like unions more than I hate them, but they can be dickheads, and I think everyone can agree on that. Even Danish people can agree that unions sometimes can be assholes. But they are overall better for the workers. Which is why, again, I will reiterate on, like, a political scale, I am center-right. I will continue to say this. I am center-right. I do not agree with everything Liberal Alliance says, even though I voted for them. I want to put that out there for the Danish people as well. But I could not see myself voting. I was actually close to voting for the Social Democracy, or Socialdemokratiet. But I just couldn't vote for Mette Frederiksen. I literally couldn't. She the way she handled the whole Mink situation and the texts and just, my God, that is just, at Bokoen, center right in Europe is basically communist to Americans. I mean, there will be some Americans that will think that is communist. Like, if you're center right in a European scale, that there are some that, like, most parties in Denmark would probably, some right leaning Americans, like Republicans, would probably consider them communists. A lot of Republicans would probably consider a lot of Danish parties communists. Like, I'm out here saying, claiming that, like, coming with claims that the most left-leaning party in Denmark is communist, which is, you can make your arguments, but we agreed that they're just socialists with communists in their party. But there are Americans that will claim that, like, our right-leaning parties are communists, which is just like, you're smoking some crack out here, man. Yeah, that's ridiculous, Lars. Like, it's just funny because even then, like, you could just, it's funny to see, Lars, that, like, we can disagree on a shit ton of things on political scale. I'll just note, this is my last comment here. In Europe and in our country, in Denmark, we can disagree on a bunch of things. But at the end of the day, we can always agree on that, like, we'd rather, like, most of the parties in our country, we'd rather vote for than any country or any party in the U.S. because it's so far away from our reality that we just can't vote for their parties in any way whatsoever. Alright, I'm going to end it on that, though. So, I'm going to head out, and I'll maybe be back with something tonight. It depends a little on the situation. What do you want? Braun, the sponsorship is a go, so there will be an addition to it, but you just have to put in the text, because I already put the ball and the thing there. I'm ending the stream now. I'll see you in Discord in 2 minutes. I gotta go take a shit.